What if the greatest wonders in the universe were right here on Earth? A planet covered in vast oceans, towering mountains, ancient forests, endless deserts, and landscapes so extraordinary that they almost look like another world. Earth is more than just our home. It is a living planet, constantly changing, constantly moving, and constantly creating wonders that have taken millions of years to form. Today, we are traveling across our planet to discover some of its greatest natural wonders. And our journey begins at the highest place on Earth. High above the clouds, in the heart of the Himalayas, stands Mount Everest. Rising nearly 9 kilometers above sea level, Everest is the highest mountain on our planet. But its story began long before humans ever stood on its summit. Millions of years ago, enormous tectonic forces pushed the Indian and Eurasian plates against each other, slowly forcing the mountains upward. Even today, the Himalayas continue to change, and Everest continues to rise, ever so slowly. But while one of Earth's greatest wonders reaches toward the sky, another stretches across the depths of the ocean. Along the northeastern coast of Australia lies the Great Barrier Reef. It is the largest coral reef system on Earth, stretching for more than 2,000 kilometers. From space, it appears like a vast pattern beneath the blue ocean. But beneath the surface is an entirely different world. Thousands of species live among its coral formations. Fish, turtles, sharks, rays, and countless microscopic organisms. And the remarkable thing is that much of this enormous ecosystem is built by tiny animals known as coral polyps. Millions of these tiny creatures work together to create structures that can be seen from space. Yet Earth's greatest forests are just as extraordinary. In South America lies the Amazon rainforest. But knowing how they happen doesn't make them any less magical. And then there's a landscape that looks almost impossible to create naturally. The Grand Canyon. Carved into the rocks of Arizona, this enormous canyon stretches for hundreds of kilometers. For millions of years, the Colorado River has slowly cut through layers of rock, revealing an extraordinary record of Earth's geological past. Each layer tells part of the story. Some rocks are hundreds of millions of years old. Standing at the edge, it is easy to feel small, because the canyon doesn't simply show us a beautiful landscape. It shows us deep time. But if we travel in the opposite direction, down instead of up, we enter one of the most mysterious places on our planet, the deep ocean. Beyond the reach of sunlight, the world becomes dark. Pressure becomes enormous. Temperatures can fall dramatically. And yet life continues to exist. Strange fish, glowing organisms, giant squid, and creatures unlike anything found on land inhabit these extreme environments. Some animals produce their own light through bioluminescence. Others have developed bodies and senses specially adapted to survive where sunlight never reaches. And despite decades of exploration, enormous parts of the deep ocean remain unknown. But the ocean isn't the only place where Earth hides frozen worlds. Across the planet, enormous glaciers slowly move through mountains and valleys. They may look motionless from a distance, but glaciers are constantly flowing under their own enormous weight. Over thousands of years, they can carve entire valleys, reshape mountains, and transform landscapes. They are frozen rivers, powerful enough to change the face of the planet. And then there are volcanoes. Deep beneath Earth's surface, enormous heat and pressure are constantly at work. When molten rock finds a path to the surface, a volcano can transform the landscape in a matter of hours. Lava can destroy everything in its path. But volcanic activity also creates new land and releases minerals that can eventually support life. It is a reminder that Earth is not a finished world. It is still being built, still moving, still changing. From the frozen peaks of the Himalayas to the warm waters of the Great Barrier Reef, from the endless forests of the Amazon to the darkness of the deep ocean, Earth contains worlds within worlds. Some are ancient, some are fragile, and some are still almost completely unexplored. We often look toward distant planets, searching for extraordinary worlds. But perhaps we don't need to travel millions of kilometers to find one, because beneath our feet is a planet filled with places that can still leave us speechless. Mountains that touch the sky, oceans deeper than we can imagine, forests filled with life, canyons carved by time, and some are still almost completely unexplored. We often look toward distant planets, searching for extraordinary worlds. But perhaps we don't need to travel millions of kilometers to find one. Because beneath our feet is a planet filled with places that can still leave us speechless. Mountains that touch the sky, oceans deeper than we can imagine, forests filled with life, canyons carved by time, and skies that glow in the darkness. This is planet Earth, a world that has survived billions of years of change, and a world whose greatest wonders may still be waiting to be discovered. Because the most incredible thing about Earth is that its story is not finished. It is still being written, and we are living on it.